Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Like, okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Raw recap. I almost said AEW. The Raw recap. I'm your host, Katie Bebe.
Bebe!
Yes!
Yes!
And I'm joined by Mr. NXT himself, Vince. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? I'm glad to be here, Katie. It's an honor to finally do a show with you and finally get the call up from NXT to Monday Night Raw.
So proud.
I feel like
proud.
this call up might go a little bit better than Keithley's, but we'll see.
Oh, I mean, probably. It probably would.
We'll get into it.
So, before we start the show, I will give a quick shout out and say what's up to everyone in the chat, because we are currently live on the Standing Streamers Twitch channel. Head on over to twitch.tv/the Standing Streamer. Like and subscribe so you get notified every time we go live, but also every time he goes live with this show, putting you over. Now, you probably didn't catch any of his chat with Nick Aldis, because you also had a stream going, but I've heard fantastic things. I was trying to balance between both.
It's tough, especially where you're not a good multitasker like me.
I got the worst ADD, so like it was impossible.
Yeah, it's tough. I try to make do, but it is what it is. Definitely got to check that out. I heard the interview went well.
Yeah, I like I said, I caught a little bit of it. Fucking amazing. I aspire to be like that. I want to start interviewing people.
For sure.
Probably not. I'm still nervous as hell. If you end up missing our live stream, we have the video form of the podcast up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SmackDrawPodcast. Or if you're one of those people who like to listen to your podcast, we have the audio form up on basically every podcast platform there is. And we are the exclusive recap show for Wrestling News World. Head on over to their website, bookmark the page so you always have it up. Check out their articles, their podcasts, and their premium content. And the last thing I will plug, please help support us not only by, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff, heading over to our Patreon, patreon.com/SmackDrawPodcast. Subscribe to one of our awesome tiers, gets you early access to our pre-recorded YouTube videos, the sticker packs, which I said yesterday, you join, you can probably get the stickers before me. Look at those stickers.
Bam, right there.
Look at them. Everyone's gonna get stickers before me at this point, but it's fine.
I'm gonna put them on my headset right here, so there it's like branded Smack Raw.
That's probably the smartest way to do it.
Probably.
I don't even have any, so I can't even say what I would do with them yet.
No, you'll get them.
Maybe eventually.
It took our end almost like a whole month to get his, so don't worry about it. I'm sure you'll get it before he gets another
And
batch.
didn't he have some missing?
Yes, he was missing maybe 4 or 5 of them. Like poor RN, he didn't even get the full batch.
They stole his stickers.
They stole his stickers. God damn it.
That sucks. All right, let's talk about this. Probably the quickest, fastest episode of Monday Night Raw ever. Everything felt so fast. All of the matches besides the main event, felt like they were under 5 minutes at least.
Right.
I don't even have a whole lot of notes because everything either ended in a DQ or just ended.
Right. Exactly. But I thought the pacing was still solid for me. I enjoyed the pacing considering that I was at work. So I looked up, oh, okay, cool. I didn't miss much of the action. I just looked down for a bit and I missed a little bit of the match, but for the most part, it was all right. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was a decent pacing for the most part for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good filler between SummerSlam and Payback for Sunday. So we started with Drew McIntyre giving a promo, saying how he's still champion because he's hungrier than Randy, He's worked harder. He wants it more. And he said, Randy, if you want a rematch, go ahead, come get it, whatever. And then as he's walking off, Randy attacks him from behind. They end up in Gorilla. Punts the shit out of Drew, not once, no, twice. And the man still tries to get up.
Right.
Like, he's a fucking monster.
I mean, he's no Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels got up within seconds. So, like, he needs to step up and get on Shawn Michaels' level.
But he was walking around the whole night, though. Mm-hmm. Kudos to that man.
He's a hell of a man. I swear, I thought it was good. I thought it was solid because there was I like when Raw or like wrestling shows in general, they have like this overlapping narrative and story that carries over across the show. And the Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, including the, you know, later on, like the NXT guy, Keithley, coming in, like they all interweave throughout the show. It was like a narrative playing up like throughout. And I enjoy that when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, I do too, because it helps the flow of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So we go from one promo to some odd back and forth between Shaina and, let me tell you, I kept writing Nyla in my notes instead of Nia. I crossed it off 5 times.
That's funny.
I'm just in AEW world, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they have a quick back and forth, and then Shayna's like, all right, well, I got a match. So it was kind of pointless, but helped set up what was happening next,
mm-hmm.
which was Shayna versus Bayley. And then before the match even starts, Nia comes out and is just standing there. For this, I have Shayna, being the smart competitor she is, goes for Bayley's shoulder immediately because it was hurt last night. And I don't know if you caught it, but at one point in the match, Shayna, I don't remember what she did to Bayley, but did you catch Sasha smiling?
Yeah, I caught that. Like Sasha and Bayley throughout this whole thing have been really good at throwing those like subtle, like little like Easter egg things for like the fans to find, and it's been really good. It's been really good. I've enjoyed it.
They're definitely like stepping it up.
Mm-hmm.
They're working towards them splitting, and I think the subtle hints are working so well.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than just like a big blow up out of nowhere.
Right.
The subtle hints build better.
Exactly. I've compared it in the past to when Batista turned on Triple H and went for the title at WrestleMania, where like he was being pushed to face against JBL. There were multiple times where he noticed that Triple H was giving him the short end of the stick, or was on purpose pushing him to the side and not letting him get these opportunities at the world title or get to a certain level. So I like that, and it took almost a year for that to blow up, and it was great.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I don't know why when you started saying that, I immediately thought of Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Oh, I mean, that was a good feud too. That was a good, nice little feud they did themselves.
I mean, it was like best friends turning on each other, which is kind of similar to Bayley and Sasha,
mm-hmm.
maybe.
It definitely is. You see the comparisons there. Another comparison I've always gotten this, and I hate to say it because Kyle's gonna give me shit because another excuse to bring up Eddie Guerrero. But Eddie Guerrero, when he turned on Rey Mysterio, and then the whole mask stuff, and like going into like the whole Dominic storyline, which is great because, you know, Dominic's a WWE member. He's a member of the WWE Raw roster now, so it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how everything just interweaves.
It's honestly crazy, and like his first match was at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
He was in SummerSlam like 15 years ago.
Yeah. it's funny. It's funny to me. I think that's good.
I love it. WWE is definitely better at continuing storylines over the years
mm-hmm.
than other things I've seen in wrestling. So
yeah,
kudos to them for that.
Yeah.
But for this match, this is one of like I said, everything was so quick. Like it ended in a DQ because Nia pulled Shayna, started
mm-hmm.
attacking her. Bayley and Sasha are like, "Oh, get her, go ahead," but then both of the monsters basically turn their attention to Sasha and Bayley,
mm-hmm.
which I kind of knew as soon as they both looked at them that they were going to be getting a tag opportunity at Payback. Which how do you feel about the team of Shaina and Nia?
As long as it's not a long-term pairing, I think I'm okay with it. Even if they win the titles at Payback, I think I'd still be okay with it, so long as it's like a tool to use to further a feud between the two of them, or just to do something with them in the time being, because that's the one issue that the women's tag team division has, is that yes, Sasha and Bayley are great, and they get to put on good matches either on NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, but it's like we see the same teams. It's either Alexa and Nikki Cross or some kind of tag team down in NXT that's been put together. So overall, I feel like them pairing them together, it was out of necessity, because all the other tag teams aren't on the level of a Sasha and Bayley to warrant a tag team title match so soon to the pay-per-view. So I think it just makes sense. It's just like two big names paired up together, fighting the common cause. I'll save my actual prediction for the Payback prediction show, though.
I definitely hear what you're saying. I wish there's some good women's tag teams in NXT. Mm-hmm. I wish they would start utilizing them a little more, or even no more Alexa and Nikki, because we've seen them as champions too many times. Kairi's not here anymore with the Kabuki Warriors. The Iconics have had their opportunities. There's not a lot of women's tag teams on the main roster.
Right.
So like you said, putting them together was kind of out of a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope that if they win, it's only for a week.
And then they reclaim the titles?
Yeah, or after Payback, it could finally lead to the start of Bayley versus Sasha. I don't know.
So ideally for me, even if they were to get the titles, and I want them to drop them right back to Bayley and Sasha, because I want the team to take the titles from them fully going forward and actually keep them, or the newly formed Riot Squad. I think that they're the most tag team oriented right now, and then they can go on and feud with the Iconics again for the tag titles, because that's what they do, or just another pairing that they either bring up from NXT or they throw together. So I would ideally like for them to if they do get the titles on Sunday, I would like for them to drop them right back to Bayley and Sasha and have Bayley and Sasha put over Riot Squad.
Okay, see, you're smart. Where'd you go? I'm not thinking that far ahead.
No, it's honestly, it's I like to fantasy book from time to time, and there would be 2K in my universe mode, so I kind of think like a booker sometimes with my video game logic. So that's what I'm booking right now. In my head, that's what I do.
I wish I had you for fucking SummerSlam predictions, because my ass got whooped.
Oh, I got you for Payback.
I didn't think I was gonna get a single one right, mm-hmm. And thankfully I did. I got the last two matches right.
Well, to be fair, I lost my NXT TakeOver predictions to RN, and that's only because we fucking Karrion Kross just screwed me over. I was not anticipating Keithley to lose and then get called up to Raw the next night. So so I don't know. Maybe I'm in the dry spell, so I might have to get reheated up with the Payback predictions.
I think we need to help each other out for Payback predictions here.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm on the same page. Yeah. I like it.
So next we have the KO show with the returning Aleister Black, who we haven't seen in a month, mm-hmm. after Murphy tried to take his eye out. Ugh. I hate seeing the footage because it makes me nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
So he has the bandage over his eye to show the injury. He's like, no, I want to see the footage again. I've seen it a million times. Show it. Kevin's like, hey, I understand. Seth and Murphy do this. They get inside your head. And then Aleister attacks Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Seemingly out of nowhere.
Unprovoked, too.
And, yeah, Kevin was just like, I understand. No, elbow, black mass. Just very quick. So this, I am posing the question, do you think he's going to pair himself with Seth and Murphy, mm-hmm. or do you think this is just him changing character?
No, I think this is just him turning heel, and going up. They're probably going to set up this match at Payback, and that's what it was. Maybe they're just trying to set up and have an excuse for this. Unfortunately, right now, the role that Kevin Owens has is the babyface guy that's just high up the card to like go against the top or like upper mid card heel. So that's the role he's taking up right now, and hopefully this is good for Aleister Black. Whether he joins up with Seth Rollins, I hope he doesn't, because I'd like to think he's on the same level as Seth Rollins, and him being an underling to Seth would be like discrediting his credibility as like a main eventer. I would like him to go as a heel guy, more darker and sinister, similar to what Finn Balor did when he initially joined NXT, just have more of an edge to him, or even the Roman Reigns when he showed up on SummerSlam with more of an edge. And we haven't seen Aleister Black heel, so this is something new. We've never seen it in NXT, so it'd be a nice little thing to explore, and Kevin Owens would be a perfect opponent for him going forward. Kevin Owens, that's another issue. That's another problem for another day, but in terms for Aleister Black, I'm good with what I saw. I'm intrigued. This is the first time since his call-up that I'm intrigued with something that Aleister's doing.
Yeah, because when he was in NXT, I was the biggest Aleister Black fan. I was like, I'm about him. He's fantastic, good in the ring, pretty damn good on the mic too when given the chance. But his call-up has just been like lackluster at best. And it's so disappointing because he's so damn good.
It is, man. Because to me, I felt like he could be a top guy. Like, he has star potential written all over him where you can make him your top champion and he's believable. He can go up against big guys, go up against smaller guys. He can go. He ticks all the boxes. But they made him like the whole like knock on my door or pick a fight with me stuff. It was bad from the get-go. They just didn't know what to do with the guy. They added the creek to his entrance, which still bugs me. And, shout out to Drew McIntyre. They added, like, the sword slasher thing to the... Yes. It's so dumb. And then the ricochet, pew, pew, pew. They got to stop messing with people's theme songs. But going back to what you were saying, I hope this is good for Aleister Black. I don't know if he'd be paired up with Seth. I think he's still going to go solo for now.
Yeah, I hope he stays solo because... He just needs to focus on him not working with other people like right now. Once he gets the ball rolling with hopefully like a darker, edgier character, then everything will hopefully go smooth sailing for Aleister here on in.
For sure, definitely.
So next we had the quick little backstage interview with Sasha and Bayley, and there was another subtle hint to split between the two because Sasha said she should still be champion, and she looked over at Bayley. I don't even know if you caught it because it was quick, but she like glanced at Bayley. She was like, I should be champion still, but she'll regain it tonight. So I like that they're doing these subtle back and forth between the two of them, and it's working. It's got me intrigued.
A lot of people are like over it, but that's one thing, just I hate to complain on the show about wrestling Twitter because it's wrestling Twitter, but a lot of people on wrestling Twitter are like, there's no more long-term booking. They don't like book long-term anymore, but when they go ahead and grind the story out and book long-term, they're impatient. Like, just turn them already. Just give us the match. So I'm cool with that. Like you were saying, Kitty, this is working for me. I'm all for it.
Yeah. I'm personally a huge fan of long-term booking. Like, I hate the quick, like, 1 week something happens, next week it's the biggest thing ever. No, I love, like, long-term years. I'm about that shit.
For sure. Same with me.
Next is another quick match. I have, like, 3 notes for this match. A fatal 4-way for the 24/7 title. It was Cedric Alexander versus Akira Tozawa versus R-Truth versus Benjamin, who was the champion. It literally everything happened so fast. I think the match was maybe 3 minutes. Akira rolled up Truth, pins him, 1, 2, 3, new 24/7 champion. But I think me and Kyle have talked about this before. Why do you even have actual matches with the 24/7 title?
Right. Well, I mean, we complain about it now, we nitpick it too, but I go back and like watch some old Attitude Era like pay-per-views that have actual hardcore matches scheduled and booked for the show, and then before and afterwards, like, or afterwards the match, they go ahead and like do the quick roll-up stuff. So literally, like, the 24/7 title is literally the hardcore title minus the hardcore rules stipulation. I don't have an issue with it. It's so long as you're booking these matches in advance, and we know, that's fine. If you want to treat it like a credible title and still do the comedy stuff on the side, I think you can have both your cake and eat it too. You know, you can have your cake and eat it too with this title. It's a gimmick title. It's a comedy title. For me, don't look too hard into it. Don't nitpick too much about it. Just enjoy the good stuff, you know, and complain about the bad stuff. The match was short. Kira Tozawa, I'm sure. Why not? Why not hot potato the title? I guess. Sure. I don't have any other, and I don't have anything else to add other than sure. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just hot potato at this point between Benjamin, Truth, Tozawa, and a little bit of Cedric.
Yeah.
That's nobody else has had the title in I don't even know how long.
Yeah, I can't think of another person that's held the title other than those 4 guys.
In Truth's like what, a 38 time 24/7 champion? He's
almost as old as how many reigns he's had. That's how funny it is. Because I think he's in like his late 30s or early 40s, that man. So he's creeping up to his actual age. So that's funny. One thing I do want to see, can we get like a woman wrestler get the 24/7 title again? Can we see that? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, because that happened once. It was like a few women had it one night, and then that was it.
Yeah, that was it. And I think at one point it was either like Tamina or like someone had like the title that would be believable to like be beaten by a guy, or like wouldn't the size differential wouldn't be so great that no one would mind it. I think it might have been Tamina. I feel like it was Tamina.
It might have. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Whoever's in the chat, help us out because I don't even remember.
I know Maria Kanellis had the title. I know Melina had. Wait, was it Melina? No, Candice Michelle, Lunger Blaze, and Carmella had the title. I can't recall anybody else. Oh wait, Kelly was the first woman to have the title actually.
Did Naomi have it at all, or was I just hallucinating?
No. You hallucinated that one. I don't think she had. Wait. Actually, I don't know what the 24/7 title anymore. I'm just gonna assume half the rosters already had it.
That's a very good assumption at this point, because I ain't got no damn clue. That title, I can't. So this was a very promo-heavy episode of Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely more so than I think recently. But because now we have Randy Orton's turn to come out to the ring,
right,
saying he promised he would RKO and punch Drew at SummerSlam. He didn't. He said he's a man of his word, and how he said he would take out Edge, Christian, Flair, Big Show, HBK.
Mm-hmm.
He did. He said he kicked Drew twice because Drew offered him the match out of pity. And out comes the Limitless one himself, Keith fucking Lee.
Yes.
How do you feel about his new theme?
I hate it. So I fucking hate it. He had like one of the most perfect theme songs to fit. He rapped his own theme song. That was him. That was him singing, like rapping the bars in his own theme song. Then they changed it to some like generic casino theme song or whatever it is they were doing. Then, for whatever reason, they changed up his tights to baggy shorts and like compression shirt on top. You know what this screamed to me? Vince McMahon's like, cover him up. I don't want people to know he's fat. That's what it screamed like to me.
It definitely seemed like that, and that sucks because literally on Saturday, Keith Lee had his normal attire, and now 2 days later, here he is, completely different. Like, it's fucking dumb.
It's so dumb. The one thing I will say, if you look past that, he was involved in 3 segments. The promo battle with Randy Orton. he had the match with Randy Orton, even though it ended in no DQ. And then the interview after Drew was like carted off like by the ambulance, and now he has a match with Randy Orton. So that's why it ended in no DQ, so they can set up the match at Payback. So overall, if you take away the gear and the music change, solid debut for Keithley.
Oh yeah, hell of a debut. I mean, I'm a big Keithley person, so I was a little hesitant on him coming up to Raw, but I mean, he's killing it already, so.
Yeah. No, I think with him, I was never really worried that he wouldn't be pushed, just because I felt like he's what Vince McMahon likes in his wrestlers, big guys, or like just very muscular guys, and he has that. He's very charismatic. He ticks literally all the boxes you want out of a pro wrestler. His whole like the fist bump with Roman Reigns, the moment he had with Brock Lesnar. I knew they felt like he was a big star, but once you get to main roster, Vince McMahon's gonna nitpick. Remember, he went ahead and basically shaved and cut off John Cena's hair because he just said no, like cut his hair, because he had like the whole like long slick back hair thing going with him. So it'll be okay. It'll be fine. They do random weird stuff with all these guys. We had the Viking Raiders called the Viking Experience when they got called up. Lasted a week.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. So they do a bunch of weird things when people initially get called up. I think they're just going to go ahead. It's going to be growing pains the first year for Keithley, but I think once he gains Vince McMahon's trust and everybody else that runs Raw, I think they're going to let him go back to being the Limitless Keithley we've seen in NXT. Yeah.
And I was like waiting for the Keithley part of his. Nope, I didn't get it, and I was real sad. I really wanted it's so catchy.
It's so catchy. Yeah, like if you can sing to a person's theme song, that's how you know it's good. And Keithley was one of them. I don't know, it felt different, but I'm happy for Keithley regardless.
Yeah, I mean, he gives a hell of a promo to Randy. He's like, "Let me introduce myself. We haven't formally met. I'm the Limitless one." Keithley says that we can have a match right now. Randy says, "On my time," which is later in the night.
Right.
But, like, I mean, we knew it was going to come sooner rather than later. But he was like, "Oh, you want to fight?" Yeah, no, not right now. Like, okay, Randy, it's fine.
Yeah. No, it's honestly, that's just WWE just trying to fill in the gap, because they literally squeezed in the pay-per-view right after the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, and they have to. That's why today's Raw felt so fast-paced, kind of rushed, because you can't really build on another storyline because you have a pay-per-view this Sunday. So you're kind of like, you're damned if you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, like, kind of situation. So I felt like there was a lot of filler in this episode and fast-paced, so they could just fill up the time and get by tonight's episode to set up Payback, and then go ahead and just start building for the future following Payback.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. I just was it just seemed so quick to me, but I mean, it's a good thing if it flies by, because that means nothing was dragged out too long.
Yeah. Look at the positives.
I'm trying to. So then we have a backstage interview with Charlie, Angel Garza, who's with Zelina and Demi Burnett, still from Bachelor in Paradise. Charlie's looking at her up and down. She's like, "You're trying to steal my man." Charlie's like, "Zelina, why did you poison Tez?" Zelina still tries to deny it. Angel's flirting with both Charlie and Demi at the same time. It's very awkward. I don't like it. And he asks Demi to accompany him to the ring. It was weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing.
It's just, me and Kyle have talked about it. Like, Angel literally got engaged in an NXT ring a few months ago, and now here he is flirting with Demi, Charlie, basically anyone besides Zelina. It's weird. Just keep it in your pants, bro. Like, calm down.
I mean, he's a heartthrob, man. You know, he's a ladies guy. He he exudes charisma. He has all the sex appeal in the world. It's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard to dial it down. I would not know what that's like, but I imagine it's very stressful and like a demanding task. So it's kind of hard to like turn down the charm. I guess maybe that's what it is.
The machismo.
Yeah, the machismo, that Latino heat.
Just all the Eddie references.
All the Eddie references. I haven't even made an offense reference. That's how you know I'm off my game.
Oh, okay. Now I know. I literally didn't even notice your fucking hat. God damn it.
No, that's fine. It's fine. But yeah, what was next after that?
Angel had a match. He came out with Andrade and Demi, and it was against Montez. I love them having matches together because their chemistry, spot on. Mm-hmm. Tez is one of the greatest in-ring competitors recently. Mm-hmm. He's fast, he's strong. His fucking frog splashes give me life.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And now he's fucking turning 180 in the air. Mm-hmm. God bless. But during the match, Ivar from the Viking Raiders, I almost said Viking Spirit because you brought it up. God damn it,
oh man, I'm all for these botches. Embrace the botch. Just embrace the botch at time.
That's a shirt.
That's a shirt. Botch. Embrace the botch.
I'll wear it proudly. I am a walking botch at this point.
Same.
So Ivar basically is skipping out to the ring, offers Demi a turkey leg, and is like, "Come with me, darling." And she's like, "Okay." Leaves. Tez ends up hitting his frog splash on Garza, wins with the 1-2-3, and that's how, like, all of that happened in 5 minutes. Crazy. Everything was so quick.
Crazy. That's wild. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the setup here is. Like, where they go from here? Because the only thing that I feel like is going to continue going forward, storyline wise, is the love and affection for the Bachelorette. I forgot her name. What's her name?
Demi
between Ivar and Angel Garza. I feel like that's the only storyline that's continuing. Other than that, I feel like they're just doing these matches just to do the matches. Like you said, I like the pairing of Montez and Andrade. I saw a tweet like last week saying that you're probably looking at a couple years down the line, you're probably going to see Montez Ford versus Andrade for the WWE title in the future. These probably going to be their like time to shine later on. But also too, just a little nitpick, and I always say this about Montez. I love the man, but I need him to dial down the goofiness just a little bit more. I need him to dial down the goofiness, because it's like, I can't take you seriously as a main eventer, as a singles guy when you do that. It's fine when you do it now as a tag team, but when you become a singles guy, don't do the goofy. Don't do the goofy, especially if it's a serious situation where you just got poisoned by this man's manager, Like, stop shaking the ropes, bro.
I mean, you definitely have noticed he gets more serious. He's gotten more serious in the ring for the most part after he got poisoned.
Yeah.
But the whole Ivar Angel thing, fighting for Demi's love and affection, that's why I was certain Andrade and Angel were going to walk out last night with the titles, and they fucking didn't. I was pissed. I was like, it would have made sense. It would have been a perfect setup between Viking Raiders and Andrade and Angel. But it's fine. I'm not bitter at all.
Maybe they'll set up the match at Payback and then they'll win there. We'll see.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we got a lot of matches announced, but none. I didn't see anything for the tag titles.
Me either, but there's still enough time till SmackDown. They like to go. Sometimes they go ahead and announce matches the day of or the night beforehand. Like, literally, it'll be like 10 p.m. And I'm like, oh, by the way, this match has been announced for the kickoff show tomorrow. It's random. It's completely random.
They're the worst. So after that match, we have another backstage segment between Shaina and Nia. Basically, Nia is saying, all right, listen, we'll work together. I just want to win these tag titles. And Shayna's like, okay, I'll help you. Just after we win, basically, like, get the fuck off my back and leave me alone. And then she just slaps Nia and the segment ends.
Kind of like most of my interactions with Kyle. Just like, get off my back, Kyle. He's the Nia to my Shaina. But we'll still be tag team champions at the end of the day. That's the love-hate relationship we'll have going forward. Because he refuses to acknowledge me in the goddamn chat when I show up. I'm breaking kayfabe, Kyle. Jesus. Sorry about that.
I had to do it. The show I hosted, I had to, especially because you brought up the Pat McAfee thing. I was like, well, someone in the chat.
I like how the two AEW guys that give me the most shit in Rob and Kevin are the ones that are the most inclined to not follow the whole bit. Like Kevin's like, come on, man, it's Vince. Let's not be bogus. And then the one time Rob returned on the show, he's like, oh, what are you talking about? Vince is right here. That's Vince. I'm like, no, Rob, can you just for once?
Shut up.
They can't acknowledge the
bit.
bit.
I didn't even think about that. They're like the two like hard. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's funny. It's funny. It just goes to show you who truly cares about you.
My God. Oh God, I can't. So after Shaina slaps Nia, we see the teaming of Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair on the way to the ring. They're like, all right, we about to whoop some ass. That ass being Billie Kay and Peyton Royce of the Iconics and Zelina Vega. Again, the match was so quick. It just helped prove that Bianca Belair is the EST of WWE. She is so strong, so fast. She hit the KOD 1, 2, 3. Her, Liv, and Ruby win. Like, I love Bianca Belair.
Yeah. So as do I. It's crime that she hasn't been given enough things to do on main roster. She should be in the title pictures. Like, she should be building up towards that title picture, but they're not doing that. It's a shame.
It's a damn shame. I just, like, I was mad when she didn't even, like, really get an opportunity. Well, she got, like, a few opportunities for the NXT title, but they didn't give it to her. She would have been a perfect champion, I think. I
still, to this day, say that she should have been included in that NXT Women's Triple Threat match at WrestleMania, have her win the title there, and then she can drop it back to either Charlotte or Rhea shortly thereafter, and then go back to Raw, then get called up to Raw, like she should have won the title at least once. But there's girls like Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch that never won the NXT Women's title, and they're two of the most decorated women's wrestlers currently on the main roster. So there's that. There's still hope for Bianca.
There's plenty of hope, and she's still so young and so fresh in her career. She's gonna be a 8-time champion in no time.
Oh, for sure.
And I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait either. I still want to see her versus Naomi or her versus Sasha. Those are matches I still really want to see.
Oh, yeah. Those matches will be, when hopefully they happen, they're going to be great matches.
Bangers.
Fucking bangers. So we see Ricochet and Cedric playing with the arm wrestling setup, and MVP's coming over. He's like still trying to recruit Cedric for the Hurt Business, which Cedric's like, I already told you no, back the fuck off, whatever. And that leads to the arm wrestling contest hosted by Mark Henry. Again, it's Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley, because he's facing Lashley at Payback for the title. As soon as they said arm wrestling competition, tell me why I thought of Matt Hardy versus MVP on SmackDown and just all of those competitions they did.
How did you pull that from the back of my memory? I didn't even think about that, and then I pictured it vividly. I still remember them having a free throw shooting contest or something. Oh my gosh. I hope that is a callback. I really hope it's a callback to that kind of stuff.
Especially because if MVP would have been out there, but Mark Henry banned everyone from being out there. If MVP would have been out there and included, it definitely would have been a callback to that. Because I think him and Hardy did have an arm wrestling match at one point.
they had like 10 different like competitions before they actually had an actual match. So
I that's like one of the things I remember most about SmackDown, but I don't know why.
Very vividly. That's a rare, like one of those rare tidbits of like knowledge that's in back in your head, and you're like, why do I remember this? There's no reason for me to remember this, but I do. Like, it's just there. I don't know why. It happens.
Yeah. So you're welcome for pulling that out of the back of your head.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go back and watch every single competition now on the network once we're done here.
Oh my god. So they have a quick little arm wrestling match. Bobby puts his foot under the table, which is apparently an illegal move in arm wrestling. Apollo Crews steps on his foot, puts his hand over. He's declared the winner. MVP and Benjamin try and come out. Apollo, I think, like does a splash over them, grabs his title, fumbles a few times with his title, and then leaves. And that's the end of that segment. Again, everything's just super quick.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they had to do some kind of segment. I kind of wish they didn't do an arm wrestling contest because those always are so cheesy. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens in their actual match. I'm still looking forward to the match itself at Payback. The arm wrestling competition, I was not even like, I didn't care. I didn't pay it much attention, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to their actual match because it's good storytelling, because Lashley's the one who hurt Crews and put him out for like a few months, which is why MVP was like, here's the new US title and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's good storytelling. So I'm very intrigued to see how the match goes.
As am I.
Then we have another interview backstage, and it's the entire Mysterio family. And tell me why Dominic looked like he was in trouble, and his parents were like doing the talking to the teacher, because he was just standing there like all sad.
I think I saw someone say that yesterday at SummerSlam when he arrived at the arena with his parents. It's like, what does Dominic look like? He's getting dropped off at school by his parents. That's like, you gotta keep. It's one thing to have Ray by his side, but keep his mom away. You make him look like a little kid, even though this is a grown man in his 20s. You're out here treating him like he's a child. But then again, he is Mexican, and our parents do not know when to stop treating us like childs. You could have your own family, be 35 with your own kids, have your own job, your own home, and they'll still treat you like a kid. True story. True story. I'm telling you, it's a Latino thing. I don't know what it is.
I believe you. But I couldn't get over the fact that he just looked like he was in trouble, and Ray had to like do the talking for him and be like, no, it's okay, like explaining that he shouldn't be in trouble.
You're right.
That's the whole vibe I got off that entire
I got
promo.
that too. Yeah, I got it too.
And I think all Ray was talking about was just like how he's proud of Dominic. I literally wasn't paying attention anymore. After I pictured it in my head, I was clocked out. Oh my god. Then we have Lana and Natalya in the ring giving a promo. #boat. One of the dumbest things probably to come out of this partnership. Then Natty says, oh, I have a Mickey James tribute. Points to the screen, and it's nothing. Which, very fucking disrespectful to Mickey James. 6-time women's champion. Badass. Been all over the place. So she comes out, basically just shoves Natty and chick kicks Lana, and then backs out of the ring. End of the segment.
Quick.
Literally quick.
Super quick.
Everything is so quick. That's what's making this hard for me, is like I have like no notes for anything because everything happened in under 5 minutes.
Yeah, bullet points. Breeze right through that kind of stuff. It's whatever.
Yeah. Whatever, I guess. So then we get to Raw Underground, which I was expecting a lot more. But I mean, I'm happy with what we got. So we got Lashley versus Dolph Ziggler, who was originally supposed to face Ivar because it was announced last week that it would happen. Right. They have a good match. I'm not sure if Lashley was like an amateur wrestler or not, but obviously Dolph was.
I think he has like a very similar background to Brock Lesnar, where he did amateur wrestling and then he did a mixed martial arts with Bellator, I believe. So he's legit.
Okay.
Yeah, he's legit.
That's why I like when they have pairings like this of like they both have the background of like amateur wrestling, because it's supposed to be like Fight Club-esque. So I like when they have that. It was quick. Lashley, like, I don't even know why they even stopped the match, and then he ends up throwing Ziggler, and Ziggler just like smacks his face and lands on a bunch of people, and then that was like the end of the first segment of Raw Underground.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not know. We go from that to a match I was really looking forward to before they announced it for Payback. Randy Orton versus Keithley.
Mm-hmm.
You could see the shock on Randy's face because he was like, oh shit, like, Keithley is strong as hell. He ain't letting nothing up.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they showed that because he hasn't interacted with Keithley. A few people have on the main roster, like Roman, Brock, and like they have such good chemistry. And Randy was just like, I'm so taken back by this. I don't know how to feel.
Mm-hmm.
Then it ends in a no DQ, which is like the third match to end in the second of three to end in a no DQ or in a DQ.
Right.
Because Drew comes out still showing the effects of that second punt kick, pulls Randy, and Randy runs away. And that's the end of that. But it leads into Drew having an interview backstage with Charlie, and Randy attacks him again from behind and gives him a third punt to the head.
Jesus.
Now, the normal person would be dead after one.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce was standing and talking after two, had to get taken out in an ambulance after three.
I mean,
I have no words.
He's a tough SOB is what he is. But I like this because throughout the entire show, you build him up as being like a tough guy, getting punted in the head and still being rocked and whatnot. Obviously, you're not 100%, but you're still trying to fight and get back at Randy Orton. And now you prolong this match because you know it's happening again. You don't get punted 3 times and not want revenge. So in the meantime, you're going to have this Keithley Randy Orton match. And you know, at a B-level pay-per-view, let's call it what it is. You know, that's what Payback is. And then I'm not exactly sure what's next after that. Maybe no, Extreme Rules already passed. It's normally Extreme Rules after this. It's usually like a summer pay-per-view, but
I'm not sure what would even come next. I was thinking TLC, but TLC is usually in like November-ish, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they'll do the match at the following pay-per-view. That's where they'll have it.
Yeah.
And they'll push it there. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Like I said at the top of the show, I thought the overlining narrative throughout with the Drew, Keith, Randy stuff, I thought it was all good. And then afterwards, like the whole Keithley interview, he was pissed. He was livid.
Oh, yeah.
And he was intense. And that's the kind of Keithley I like to see.
It reminded me of after Karrion laid out Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah. Not Dominic Mysterio, right?
Not Dominic Mysterio, no. Dijakovic.
Gotcha.
That would be very weird. That wouldn't make sense.
I mean, I like Dominic Mysterio. Maybe Keith Lee is just a big Rey Mysterio family kind of guy. So he's been a big Mysterio like guy. So he kind of wants to support his kid too. So I don't know. Keith Lee strikes me as a very supportive wrestler in the back. Yeah. So I feel like he'd be pretty upset if, you know, Karrion Kross took out Dominic Mysterio too. So I don't know.
He's just a big old teddy bear until you piss him off, and then he's a murderous teddy bear.
Exactly. I've compared him to Goku from Dragon Ball Z because he's very carefree, but like once you piss him off, he's really pissed off, and you wouldn't like him like that. But I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. Unfortunately, the match did end in the DQ, but we're gonna have it at Payback.
Yeah, it all is slowly coming together for Payback, which they got everything ready in a very short amount of time.
The pay-per-view looks good so far. I mean, it's not going to be SummerSlam level good, but it's going to be decent, I think.
Yeah. I'm excited, and I'm intrigued to see from, besides like the triple threat between Roman, Fiend, and Braun from the SmackDown side, what's coming out of that. So I'm excited to see.
For sure. They also didn't they do like a whole like Roman Reigns like follow up breaking news thing? Like they spent like I think like a good 5 to 6 minutes on Roman Reigns' return, even though it's the Raw show.
Yeah, they did it like twice. They were hyping the hell out of Roman, like he's returning on SmackDown for the contract signing because he's immediately in a triple threat. Like I think they said it's like a no holds barred match.
No holds barred triple threat match, which is contradicting because triple threat matches are already no DQ. So it's like they just add in another stipulation to it just to like make it sound edgy. That's all it is.
I mean, that's kind of what they did with Mandy and Sonya. It was originally hair versus hair, and then they said, no, we're going to scrap that. No DQ, loser leaves WWE. So they just like up in the ante, I guess, even though sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense, but go with the flow.
Now we have the Raw Women's Lumberjack match for the title, which I'm happy they're not calling them Lumberjills anymore. They're actually calling them Lumberjacks, so I appreciate that. So it was Asuka who won the title last night versus Sasha. I mean, they have pretty good chemistry in the ring, especially like after all the times they've had issues with like Bayley and Sasha versus like the Kabuki Warrior, so their chemistry is always good. Sasha ends up taking out Ruby and Liv at one point by accident because I think Asuka like moved out of the way. Asuka goes after Bayley, and Bayley starts throwing lumberjacks into Asuka, and she's just knocking them out one by one. And Bayley tries to grab a chair towards the end of the match. Shaina stops her with an ankle lock. Basically, Sasha's distracted. Asuka gets her in the Asuka lock, and she wins. But I'm not surprised. I didn't expect her to drop the title the day after.
No, and I've said this from the moment Sasha won the title via countout that Asuka was always going to get the title back, and this was only to like do the quick 2-woman power trip thing, you know, like a similar thing to like Austin and Triple H when they did it back in the day. Have them hold all the belts, you know, really be the golden role models and whatnot. Get a little bit more heat on them, because even like women's wrestling fans that like love Bayley and Sasha, they're like, they shouldn't have all the titles, you know, they're hindering the rest of the division. It's like, that's the point. They're supposed to get you worked like that. You're supposed to be mad that they're holding up the division hostage, basically. And honestly, Sasha isn't going to have her big title reign until she takes that SmackDown Women's title off of Bayley. So this made sense. And again, continue to plant the seeds and further that riff between Bayley and Sasha. So I thought the segment was good. This is probably the thing I enjoyed the most out of the night was that lumberjack match.
Yeah. Besides the main event, this definitely got it's like the longest bell to bell time. And I appreciated that. And I just liked that they finally included every single woman they had on the main roster for once.
Right.
Instead of just like the same 3. So I liked it, and it's just starting to hint towards them splitting like they have been all night. And once it happens, it's just going to be gold. I'm just curious as to who will end up, quote unquote, turning on who. I don't know. Do you have any predictions?
I think you can't change Bayley back. You can't change Bayley back. And as much as Sasha works best heel, I feel like it has to be Bayley that just says, screw this. You know, or like she continues to like doing things to undermine Sasha. Like she basically, you basically saw that at SummerSlam where she's like, oh, well, shit, you know, at least I have my title. At least you have the tag title, right? You know, at least you have that. But no, I feel like it could be Bayley that goes on Sasha, but if one of them turns, I think it's Sasha going babyface, or at least tweener for the feud.
Yeah. because I think it was Sasha who turned, like, the first time they had a proper feud. So it would just make sense. Like, you really can't turn Bailey back now. Like, she cut her hair, she changed her whole gimmick. You can't change her back now. She can't go back to hugs and all that shit. Nah. As much as I loved that Bailey, you can't change her back now.
No, you can't. It's too late for that.
Too late. Then we got like the update about Drew McIntyre. He's taken to a local medical facility. Keithley's pissed, rightfully so. I like that he said he should be mad at Drew for interviewing in his debut, but he's more pissed at Randy for taking out his friend. I liked that.
Yeah. Nice little subtle touch there.
Yeah, which I think Keithley is always going to be so good at, just putting everything in one promo.
He's great.
We love Keithley.
I think he's the one, and Kevin's, I think, said this, or I can't remember who's mentioned this. I think he's the one wrestler across the entire fandom, regardless of promotion, that he's universally loved. I can't think of anyone, or I've heard anyone say anything negative about Keithley, unless they're just like, you know, like racist or something like that, you know, like, unless it's that, everybody loves Keithley.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't think of anyone.
It used to be Kevin, but I kind of despise Kevin now, so he lost that. He lost that.
At least you're honest.
I am nothing but honest. So was there anything else besides the main event? Because I can't remember if there was anything in between there.
There was another little Raw Underground segment. Basically, Cedric quite literally gets thrown into the ring against Bobby Lashley, gets choked out. Then the Hurt Business is trying to just throw other people who are standing ringside in. Ivar and Eric come out. They brawl with the Hurt Business. Hurt Business is the one standing tall afterwards. And Shane's just like, all right, I guess we'll find out what happens next week. And that was the end of Raw Underground. Which I'm usually excited for Raw Underground. I was a little disappointed this week with it.
For me, I feel like Raw Underground is like that McDouble from McDonald's. It's good. It can hit the spot some days when you're really hungry. Other times it's like, whatever. It does. It's doing its job. It's neither good nor bad. It's just there. It's a filler. It helps fill you up before the main event, I guess.
I love that it just got referred to as a McDouble.
The McDouble of Raw. That's what we're calling it.
I love that so much. Oh my god. That's all I'm going to think about now every time I do this Raw show. Is the goddamn McDouble.
You're welcome, McDonald's. You're welcome.
Let's get that sponsorship going.
Yeah, let's get that McDonald's sponsorship. We'll have like the logo above like our overlay and shit. There we go. We'll go ahead and have McDonald's be sponsoring the show. I'm with it.
That.
All the
Look
fries.
at us go.
All the fries. Give me all the
fucking
fries. Yeah.
Yes. So now we're at the main event. Dominic's first main event, his second match ever, his first match on Raw. Kid's having hell of a good start to his career. It's Dominic and Rey Mysterio taking on Seth Rollins, and I keep wanting to call him Buddy Murphy. Just Murphy.
I'm still calling him Buddy Murphy. I'm still calling him Buddy Murphy. He's my buddy. He's my Buddy Murphy. He's my Buddy Murphy. That's what I'm calling him. My Buddy Murphy.
I love it. That's a movie right there.
Yeah.
Instead of My Cousin Vinny, My Buddy Murphy.
Yes. Let's get right on that too.
So before the match even starts, Dominic and Rey attack Seth and Murphy. I missed like a little bit of this because I don't think I was even paying attention. I think I zoned out. But at one point, Murphy and Dominic, are going at it. I will say Dominic looks pretty good as a wrestler right now. I mean, not to blow smoke up his ass, but he's not as good as Pat McAfee right now. But
you know what? Look, I hate Pat McAfee, but I kind of had to like go ahead and be like, I had to give him his flowers. You know, I got to give him his roses and like, hey man, he showed up and he did his thing, and he had a better debut than Dominic. Dominic's good. He's for what he's doing. That's good. He's like on par with like an indie wrestler. This is where an indie wrestler that's starting up would be. This is where Seth Rollins started up, but Rey Mysterio even. Like everybody starts off. It's just unfortunately for him, or it might be fortunate, you know. It might be fortunate. He's under the microscope of Monday Night Raw, so he's having every first thing on WWE TV, so it's under scrutiny. And then you had another debut of a guy that hasn't wrestled before in Pat McAfee, and you got to compare and contrast. Here's the thing: if you don't have the Pat McAfee like match, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, "Wow, Dominic's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. He's actually really, really good." But because there's something to compare it to, you're like, "He was good, but not Pat McAfee good," you know?
Yeah. Which like that is like such a good way to think about it. If you don't have anything to compare it to, Dominic he's literally been killing it. I give the kid mad fucking respect, especially the lashes he took the day he signed his contract, the street fight he had last night, the match tonight.
Like, and he has a banger theme song too. He's got that going for him too, so he's got it all. I imagine once he gets like actual toned up and his body looks like amazing. Oh damn, this guy. He's money. He's gonna
be a force. Yeah. I love the double 619 they did to Murphy. Because you can just tell Ray is so proud of his son, and I just fucking love that so goddamn much. Like, I say it every time. I've said it on SummerSlam, the Raws. Like, I fucking love this.
For sure.
And everyone's like, oh, he's going to turn on his dad. If he turns on Ray, I'm taking a week off.
That's Kyle. Kyle always puts that negative energy out there. Oh, I want Dominic to join Seth Rollins and be a disciple of the Messiah. No. God, no. We're family, man. They're family. Like us Latinos, we stick with family. Unless they do something completely terrible and despicable, we stick by family through thick and thin. I don't care if you took my last Pop-Tart, I'm still sticking by you. You know, that's the way we roll. And I don't think, like a little tiny thing, there's no way he's going to be manipulated by Seth. I don't want him turning heel. Keep him babyface. And even with Ray too, I saw some people saying, what if Ray the one that turns on Dominic? No, you're really going to turn this man heel for the first time in his entire career right before it's about to end? Stop that. Let him go out just like Ricky Steamboat as a clean-cut babyface throughout his run.
Yeah, like, all you people shut the hell up. Like,
shut up, people.
He's not gonna turn on his damn child.
Yeah. He's not Vince McMahon. He's not gonna go ahead and have a fight with Stephanie McMahon on a pay-per-view. Jesus. Anyway.
Anyways, before the match even, like, gets to really end, Retribution appears. I was waiting all night because they didn't really do shit at SummerSlam. I was waiting. I was like, okay, they're usually in the beginning of the night, so I was surprised. And they attack Dominic and Ray, but Seth and Murphy are just chilling on the top of the ramp. Seth looks very mischievous. Now, I don't think he would be like the leader of Retribution. A lot of people think it's Roman now, because his shirt wreck everyone and leave. Which I almost bought the shirt last night. I was like, no, wait a minute.
Oh no, I'm gonna get that shirt like 6 months from now when it's like $7.99 with like a 20% off. That's what I'm getting it. That's what I'm getting it.
That's why I stopped myself. I was like, nah, I don't need it right now. I got plenty of shirts. I'm fine. So, I mean, if Seth doesn't have anything to do with Retribution, why did they not attack him and Murphy? Because, I mean, they've attacked, like, they tried to take off, like, Michael Cole and Corey Graves' head, like, but they didn't attack Seth and Murphy.
This is just me just, like, thinking on the spot, but initially when that was happening, they were trying to make a name for themselves. Get, like, people to get talking about them. Now that they've got that attention that they wanted, they're going to actually focus in and zero in on the people and their actual targets that they want to have. So at this point, they got the name, they got the recognition, they got everybody's attention. At this point, they have their targets, and they targeted the Mysterio family here. So that lets you know that, like, that's what that is. I don't necessarily feel like it's a pairing between Seth and Retribution, unless it's like an evil Shield cult thing between Roman and Seth, where there's like the evil Shield, and they start dressing them in SWAT gear afterwards once they take off the masks. At one point at the end, I think it was like 7 of them. They were like standing on the apron. It looked like at a certain point, like a couple of them wanted to take off their mask. I'm like, I thought they were actually gonna do like a big reveal where everybody takes off their masks, but we didn't get that. But we're getting close to it. I'm very eager to find out who the fuck is behind those masks.
I have like a few, not even like predictions, but guesses.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at who was in the ring tonight, there was a lot of very short females.
Mm-hmm.
So my mind immediately went to 3 women in NXT: Candice LeRae, Casey Catanzaro, and Kaden Carter. They are the shortest women on the rosters.
Mm-hmm.
They look like the right build and everything. It's possible that it could be like NXT kids being like, we're here to fuck shit up, let's go.
We've actually kind of like made a reference on the NXT shows and on the takeover shows, saying that the reason why Retribution doesn't show up on the NXT shows in Full Sail is because it's NXT people running the whole thing. That's why they don't attack NXT, and it's only Raw and SmackDown. Although, you know, like, the real reason is just they're trying to keep it as a main roster faction, you know, like a main roster like feud thing.
Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't look too hard into like the builds of these people, because from what I've been hearing or seeing or reading, they're changing up the people on purpose because they're keeping everything close to the chest. They don't want you to know and guess who it is. That's why they like let people know that there was like a girl with like curly hair, and people thought it was Vanessa Bourne, and it could still be Vanessa Bourne as like one of the members in Retribution, but they're gonna change things up. Like, remember when they debuted it on SmackDown with the chainsaw? They were all really, really short. Now they have people that are kind of tall, so they're changing. And then on SmackDown, there was like 20 of them surrounding Braun. So we still don't even know how many of them there actually are. So they're keeping they're keeping us guessing, and that's cool. It's fine. I don't have my hopes too high for them, but I think the bar for them is Nexus. They have to get to Nexus level, or else it's a flop, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's as soon as like the whole Retribution angle like started, I immediately went to the Nexus debut.
Mm-hmm.
They ruined everybody and everything in one night. So, I mean, Retribution has a lot to live up to, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the whole, we don't even know if anyone who has been dressed up as someone in Retribution is actually behind the creation of Retribution.
Right. They could just be like underlings, and there's like a big head like guy running everything. So there's a lot of questions. I feel like where this is leading, spoiler, like this is just me again fantasy booking. It's gonna be like a 7-on-7 or 5-on-5 Retribution versus WWE Survivor Series match, where they do that, and then like the members that get eliminated get like unmasked or something.
I want to see it now. I hope that's fucking what happens.
I'm with it.
Damn.
There we go.
You should just book it from now on. Fuck.
They got the wrong Vince running the show. They got the wrong Vince running the show.
The wrong fucking Vince. Oh my god.
But I think that was Raw, right? Did we miss anything? I think we got everything.
I think we did get everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
For sure. Overall, I thought it was solid Raw, especially like a last minute Raw before a last minute pay-per-view edition. So I think they did what they were supposed to. Overall, I enjoyed the show. I thought the Retribution angle at the end was kind of cool, and I'm engaged to find out what happens on SmackDown and Payback. So I guess that's doing their job. If they got me like wanting to tune in, has nothing to do with the fact that I have to do this for the podcast.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not a single reason.
Not a single one.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad night for Raw. Everything was just quick, to the point. Helps get everything ready for Sunday, and Friday, mainly Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
with it. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the show, right?
Yeah.
This is different because I'm not the lead. I'm not like running point. I'm not the not carrying like running the ship. I'm not steering the ship. That's the phrase I was looking for.
Steering the ship.
Steering the ship.
Yeah, I mean, I was. It's weird. I still am not used to this. Being like the one who talks the most.
Hey, you get used to it eventually. Eventually, you get used to it.
Eventually, yeah. I still blame my friends for even making me host tonight. Bastards.
You did a good job. I had fun.
Thanks.
This was great. Definitely had to run this back, Katie. Definitely had to run this back.
I might have to pop up on NXT this week. Who knows?
Maybe. Might have to do a last minute Retribution run-in.
Bet. I'm in.
Sounds good. So, sign us off, Katie.
Oh, I've never actually signed off. I made Kyle do it last time.
Oh, you made him do it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm making you do it now. I'm putting. No.
Yeah. No. What do you mean? I'm making you do it. I'm the one taking charge.
All right. Fair enough. This has been the Smack Raw Podcast, guys. Make sure you go ahead and download it wherever you listen to all your audio podcasts. Check us out on WrestlingNewsWorld.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Turn on the bell notifications. Comment down below. Follow Katie Baby and the show and myself. We'll catch you guys next week for more Monday Night Raw. Later, y'all.
Deuces.